People call it scandal, but I believe that the Smiths have actually been able to tap into that and actually convert it to marketing. I believe that they found a formula whereby they're able to get our attention in the best way possible. Naturally, I would go like, yeah, this couple have so much issues, but when you look around you, when I look around myself, I see that there are people who have worse relationship than the Smiths. And second thing, everything that comes out of an actor, whether it's on social media, whether it's randomly shot somewhere on the side of the street, I usually take it with a pinch of salt. You know why? Because anything can be scripted. And these people are professional actors. They've been professional actors for more than 3 decades. I think they know very well how to create a situation and tap into that and use it to market stuff to us. I mean, think of it this way. Every time you've heard of a scandal between Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, what was happening during that period? When you think of entanglement, I think of Red Table Talk, because that's when Red Table Talk was happening, that's when it was beginning, and that's when most people actually subscribed to that particular channel. On Facebook, this is not on YouTube, this is on Facebook. And so they were able to get very, very many people to go out of, you remember, during that period, Facebook was actually for the older generation. So most people jumped back to Facebook for the Red Table Talk, including myself. And when you look at Will, the other thing that was scandalous was him jumping over an helicopter. And what does this coincide with in terms of his life during that particular period? He was starting his life on social media. He was starting a YouTube channel. And so he needed to get our attention in one way or the other. The next time you hear of a scandal with Jada Pinkett is with Cleopatra. She has done something scandalous, and then we know that there's a show on Netflix that has Cleopatra in it, has a black Cleopatra. So these guys, and now the other scandal that we heard of was when Will was releasing his book. So there were details over there that people were like, oh, so this was that about Will, So this was what was happening between Will and Jada. That's when the Tupac and Will relationship started to actually pop back up. What was happening during that period? Will was releasing a book. And now Jada is releasing a book. Will is releasing a podcast. And what do? 2 weeks before that, 3 weeks before that, everywhere on YouTube, it's like free will, hashtag free will, hashtag I don't know what Jada. Everyone is hating on Jada. Everyone is going like, oh, someone Will is making some of the biggest mistakes, and you can actually see it from some of the biggest broadcasters on YouTube. I was surprised that some people who deal with sports were talking about Will, and I'm like, wow, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett are geniuses. It doesn't matter what you say about their relationship, because you're 50-year-old and married. Your relationship is not going to be all goody two-shoe. It's going to have issues. It's going to have up and downs. There is no such thing as a perfect relationship. But they found a way of tapping into their imperfect relationship and actually convert that into currency in one way or the other, because a lot of people already right now know that there's a class of 88 podcast happening. Why? Because of the scandal that has been happening with Will. Because of hashtag free will. Just as it comes up, that's when Will decides to have this podcast released. Then you have Jada Pinkett releasing a book worthy. I'm sure many people even know the cover of the book, the way it looks like, because of the scandal around that particular book. So you can say whatever you want to say about them. You can say, oh, free will. But I believe that superstars have a life, and their life is not as white as we think it is. It's pretty messy. It's like your life and my life. The only difference is that their day job is being on a big screen and doing marvelous things thanks to great visual effects. But at its core, they're just anybody. They're just like you and me, and they go through the same shit that we go through. Now, what makes Will and Jada special, I think I've been mentioning a lot of time, they found a way to tap into that. And me and you, we are a bunch of dummies. We are able to fall into that every single time. Every single time something, Will is about to release something, there will be a scandal. And they will get our attention. And we will go out and buy those books. Because even when you think of Jada's book, I'm sure there are far more interesting things in that book than what Jada said. Think of it this way: if it's about her story, I'm sure there are things about Tupac in that book that we really didn't know. There are things about her life that we did not know. But we are so focused on that one thing about 2016 and the relationship between that and the slap that we forget that there are far more other interesting things out there about Jada that we don't know that they are in that book. And I think that goes back into the whole industry, because Jada having a scandalous interview, one of those, publication companies, you will have those companies just cut out the most scandalous part because they want you to click on their YouTube videos, they want you to read the articles, so they will pick all those scandalous parts and just, push them, make noise with them, because they want those clicks, they want that traffic moving towards whatever they have. Yet they forget to show us the other more interesting things about these particular people. And the good thing, and the reason that I'm not sad for Will or I don't care about Jada, is because at the end of the day, guess the people who get to benefit from all that, it's Will and Jada. So basically, the next time you hear of a Jada and Will Smith scandal, just be careful. It may be all scripted. You never know. Maybe Will is the one who told Jada to say whatever she said. Maybe Will has been the one who's been in the back puppeteering everything. Maybe Will was a part of the plan from the word go to make everything just be all this scandalous stuff. You just never know. Remember, the man has sat down in different interviews and said that he actually knows how to get people to do. He understands his audience. He understands people. He understands how to get your attention. Just next time you hear of a scandal, keep that in mind. My channel is not about gossip. I don't talk about superstars. I really don't care. I just look at their products. I like to review movies. That's what I usually do. But in cases like this, when something like this happens in the pop media sphere and I have something to say, I'll produce a video like that, like this one. So if you are into movie reviews and stuff, you can subscribe to my channel. If you're not about movie reviews, you're more into the scandal and the gossip part of the shows, this is not the show for you. But basically, thanks for stopping by. And there's something I usually like saying: remember to always watch what you enjoy and enjoy what you watch. Watch this video to understand the nature of my content. And if you want to subscribe, please do. Be part of the family. Basically, everyone, thanks for watching, and I shall see you on the next one.